Special negotiator Steve Witkoff, sending shockwaves around the globe when he said he doesn't believe Putin will try to conquer Europe at all. Our Fred Pleiken is out front.
Despite unrelenting fighting between Russian and Ukrainian forces on various fronts, and Moscow saying its troops continue to make headway, President Trump's special negotiator saying he trusts Russian President Vladimir Putin has no further ambitions in Europe beyond Ukraine.
I just don't see that he wants to take all of Europe. This is a much different situation than it was in World War II. In World War II, there was no NATO. So you have countries that are armed there. To me, I take him at his word in this sense.
But the Ukrainians say Russia is continuing an aerial blitz with drones and missiles, a strike in the northern Sumy region today, leaving dozens injured, Kiev says. And Moscow accuses Ukraine of stepping up attacks on Russian energy installations, despite an agreement with the Trump administration not to do so, even though Kiev denies the allegations. The Kremlin seemingly pushing the brakes on talk of a possible imminent full ceasefire. Of course, there are still many different aspects related to the settlement that need to be worked out, the Kremlin spokesman said. As U.S. and Russian negotiators met in Saudi Arabia's capital, Riyadh, to try and hammer out some of those details, Steve Witkoff says the last time he met Putin, he saw a special relationship between the Russian leader and President Trump developing, Witkoff told Tucker Carlson.
It got personal. The President Putin had commissioned a beautiful portrait of President Trump from the leading Russian artist, and actually gave it to me and asked me to take it home to President Trump, which I brought home and delivered to him. It's been reported in the paper, but it was such a gracious moment, and told me a story, Tucker, about how when the president was shot, he went to his local church and met with his priest and prayed for the president. Not because he was the president of he could become the president of the United States, but because he had a friendship with him and he was praying for his friend.
Those words reverberating on the streets of Moscow.
He said that President Putin had ordered a portrait of Donald Trump. What did you think about that?
I don't know. It's maybe a symbol of growing relationships. I don't know how to think about it.
Do you think they're friends? Witkoff said that he was praying for a friend.
Yes, he said so, but I don't know. Maybe.
I believe they have a quite good relationship between them. So I believe that everything will be fine.
The Trump administration also says they believe things will be worked out, even as the Kremlin cautions many tough issues still need to be solved to end the fighting in Ukraine.
And Aaron, as far as those technical talks in Riyadh today are concerned, the Russians are only saying their negotiating team is heading back to Moscow to brief Russian President Vladimir Putin on all of this. And a source in the White House telling our own Alex Marquardt tonight only that the talks went very well, and that they expect to have a positive announcement, as they put it, in the near future, but not any clue as to when that will be and what that will be. Aaron.
All right. Of course, whether it's more meaningful than the ceasefire of infrastructure, which was not. Thank you very much, Fred, live from Moscow. And next, President Trump dispatching the second lady to Greenland as he steps up his pressure campaign to seize Greenland. The Danish official who once told Trump to F off is next. Plus, they call themselves Hannah Moms. They get together to smoke pot and unwind, and they say they are better moms for